What's up, Meister Village, your boy Buckmeister, twice the nice that you are used to, Sharp Blamson, and today we are talking Black Widow. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Buckmeister Cool from Meister Geek Media. I talk all sorts of geek media, from the superheroes and the comic books, to the mangas and the animes, to the sci-fis, and all of that good stuff. So if any of that sounds cool to you, please feel free to tickle that subscribe button and that bell button so you never miss a video. Alright, so Black Widow is here. I've been seeing, I'm a little bit late with this movie, I feel, I don't know. But yeah, it's been getting some positive reviews, it's been getting some meh reviews, but in my personal opinion, up top, I want to say, not a bad movie. Okay, let me start off with the stuff that I liked. The stuff that I liked was, ScarJo and Florence Pugh. Their dynamic was great. The family dynamic is great. David Arbor is a lot of fun. I liked him a lot in this movie as well. I just gotta say though, these accents, whoo, these accents. Like I have met maybe 3 Russian people in my entire life. I hope to meet more because they seem like they're very cool people, but like I haven't heard a lot of Russian accents. Most of the Russian accents I've heard are from TV, but I feel like I can tell when it's a good one and when it's a bad one. And these ones, it's not that they were terrible to me, it's just that they felt like they were coming and going as they pleased. Like these people would go from Russian to American sentence to sentence. And then one of them even will throw in a bit of Italian in there, where I was just like, wait, what? Where are y'all from? Are y'all from Russia or y'all from the UN? This is several countries mixed in one accent. The action starts out quick, but it's still very, very good action. I still loved a lot of the action that was in here. The choreography was great. Lots of Winter Soldier esque type things. Not completely Winter Soldier esque, but like it's pretty dope. And there's a lot of defying of physics, but we've seen them do that time and time again. Like first off, this is superheroes. Second of all, if you let anything go in the Avengers, the first Avengers, 2012 Avengers, then you can't question the physics in this movie. So there's that. Pacing is a little bit weird for me. The pacing is kind of like it's like it felt off in places. It felt uneven in places. Like there was things where I wanted them to spend a little bit more time with something, or there's like scenes where the way they have them ordered, I would have changed the order. But like, yeah, it's not like it's completely terrible pacing. It was just that it was off in places for me, is what I'm saying. And there is times where this movie gets dark, like very, very dark. Like it gets dark where I'm just like, wow, okay, did not see that coming. But then they kind of undo it towards like that's one thing I also don't like about this movie though. I'm still trying to stick on the positive stuff because there's a lot of stuff to like in this movie, and again, ScarJo brings her performance, and again, there's a weak performance, but it's not from the main cast. Like all the weak performances are not from the main cast. But there's one thing I don't like about this movie is they set something up and it's like brilliant, and then they just kind of downplay it towards the end. I don't like that. Okay, before I even get into the stuff I don't like, because I did not mean to do that, but the comedy also it works here. Like I do, it's that Marvel shtick that we like, but I do like it. I do like it. Like I do like a lot of the jokes in this. I don't think they were ha 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 slap your knee funny, but I got a couple They got a couple chuckles out of me. They got a couple chuckles out of me. So I'll give that to them. I'll give that to them. Okay, let's get into the stuff that I did not like. So, Marvel had were critiqued a lot for this in the past, and they've managed to turn it around right now. So, with your villains like your Killmongers and your Thanoses and all of that stuff, and I would even say, geez, I forget his name, but the character Jude Law played in Captain Marvel, like those were some. It wasn't like, I mean, his villain is nowhere near his villain was nowhere near the level or status of Thanos or Killmonger. But I'm still saying he was kind of you kind of felt it kind of with him, kind of, in my personal opinion anyway. But like a lot of the time, with the previous Marvel movies, is that the villain seemed to be the weakest part. Like phase one, I wouldn't say that, but definitely a phase two. Definitely a phase two Marvel. The villains were like the weakest part, and this is kind of giving me that feeling again with the villains in this Black Widow movie. Because geez, they are nothing. Whew, they are nothing. Taskmaster, to say Taskmaster is a disappointment is an understatement. Taskmaster is one of those villains where you like him. Like he's not like I mean he's cool and he's not definitely throwaway, but there's definitely more to him than what they put in this movie because I was watching Jeremy Johns' review of this and he was right. Like he said it and he said it perfectly. Taskmaster is a Terminator ripoff. He's just it's just some scary thing that is gonna chase the main cast and just chase them and chase them and chase them until it tries to kill them. No emotions, no personality, and that's like one thing that Taskmaster does have. It's like wherever you've seen him, even in the Avengers game that people were like meh on or they didn't like it, even in that game, he had a lot of personality. Even in the Spider-Man game, the PS4 game where you meet him like briefly for like three things, he still gives you a lot of personality. So for them to strip Taskmaster of everything in this movie and do what they did with him here, or like for them to do what they did here, it was just like, oh, really? That's how you gonna play my boy Taskmaster? I mean, again, I'm not the hugest Taskmaster fan. Taskmaster fans must be hot. Y'all must be mad. Maybe they do. Maybe they'll introduce another Taskmaster who was just like, I'm the original program, and I decided to defect from whatever organization this Dreykov guy was in, or whatever. But like, that was not the real Taskmaster. That was just they can spin it. They can spin it. But the Taskmaster that we got in here, yeah. Another thing that I dislike about this movie, I think, is that, and again, it was something that afflicted Phase Two movies. For example, like Thor: The Dark World, it suffered from, like, I still think it's a good movie, but it suffered from this thing of introducing dark ideas and then letting the jokes supersede the dark ideas. So by the same token, I think this movie does that as well, where it'll be talking about very serious things and you're just like, y'all need to sit down and talk about that more, because the movie's like 2 hours. So I feel like they could have like cut some other stuff to focus on some other stuff. But essentially, like, they'll have a very dark moment and then they'll just like joke their way out of it, and you're just like, I mean, you can joke but not to that level. Let's just tone it down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's not like Thor Ragnarok. With Thor Ragnarok, I still enjoy Thor Ragnarok more than this, but one thing I didn't like about Thor Ragnarok was that it is the event of Ragnarok and they just joke about that the entire time. But with this movie, they like, the situation is quite serious, or the situation they're discussing is quite serious, and then they just kind of gloss over it, and you're just like, oh, I would have liked to see how people actually really feel about this thing that they're talking about. Just me. And like the main villain is just there to spout villainous dialogue and then blow up in a blazing ball of fire. That's another thing. Lots of explosions. Not Michael Bay, but we got explosions up here. But yeah, the main villain is just there to cackle and boo ha ha ha. He's a basic boo ha 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 bitch, and he just dies. That's what he is. Boo ha 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 bitch, and then dies. That's all he is. And the ending, while cool, while it has some emotional beats, is also kind of anticlimactic. Even though I know what they were going for, it was still like, yeah, that just felt like it petered out. That just felt like it ended. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, we got them trademark Marvel explosion where you gotta explode a big thing at the end of the movie, but at the same time, I was just like, yeah, I mean, this is cool, but this was wrapped up. This was wrapped up a while ago. But yeah, I mean, again, the action is great. The chemistry of the cast saves this movie a lot. You enjoy the cast a lot, but like the plot and the villains are the one thing that I keep dragging this movie down, especially for me. I don't know how other people feel, but like them villains and this like plot, and then also another thing that I want to say is they don't flesh out the characters enough. As much as the cast is doing a great job of what they have, Like people will, they'll change alliances like on a whim. And like there's one character especially who changes her alliance, and you're just like, but why? I don't necessarily get it. I mean, for me, when they introduce the thing that she does, I'm like, oh, that makes sense, and oh, that's kind of bad, and oh, I mean, they had an effect on each other, which was cool and everything, like the family. But at the same time, I was just like, this change is so steep, where I'm just like, but why? And there you have it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think, Meisterville? Talk to your boy. Have you seen Black Widow? No spoilers, please. And if you like this video, I want to say first off, thank you so much for getting to this part in the video. You are spiggy-tacular. And if you really like this video, I got another one up here. I got a playlist down there. I got an icon you can click on to subscribe. If you do subscribe, please hit that like and that share and all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in another video, because my man's got to be out. Peace.